Hi guys, I'm Becky. Welcome back to Wellness in the Pelvis. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist here to help you understand more about your body, especially your pelvic health. And today we are going to talk about a little bit of a sensitive subject that happens very frequently in women. It's about queefing, or maybe even less of a appealing name, vaginal flatulence. So let's shed some light on what's going on down there. So farting out of your hoo-ha, huh? That sounds really great. Super sexy. Why the heck does this happen and how do we make it better? No, it's not that you're actually farting. It's not like gas coming out of your anus where it's moved through your digestive system and it's just a byproduct of digestion. What happens is somehow air comes up into the vagina, and then what comes in must come out, and so it then comes out with maybe a not so pleasant noise. Vaginal gas, vaginal flatulence, or the common name queefing is super common and honestly happens to pretty much every woman at some point in her life, but doesn't mean that you want it to happen, and there are ways that you can help fix it. So vaginal gas is more likely to happen if you put your body in positions that basically separate the labia minora away from each other. So it's kind of opening up the door pretty much. And also in people that have a weak pelvic floor. If this is because you have a weak pelvic floor, then that means that the vaginal canal and the vaginal opening just aren't as well supported, which allows gas to come in and out. One of the common times this happens to people is during intercourse, and nothing sexier than farting around your partner, am I right? So basically, I don't think it's a surprise, right, that there's a lot of action going on down there and lots of opportunities to jump in. What you need to do to help reduce this risk of vaginal gas are maybe try to avoid or work your way in and out of positions that may cause this to happen. Every person will know what positions those are for them, but oftentimes it's positions where you as the female are bent over in some way. So like a rear facing position would make this more likely to happen, or if you're side lying and really crunched over, it's real easy for air to enter at that point. Another reason this might happen during sex is if you use too much lubricant and things get a little bit slippery. It's also helping other things glide in as well. So if you reduce the amount of lube, use enough to make sex comfortable and pleasurable, but not so much that you're making a mess. Women will also often experience this in just everyday positions when they are bent over or going down into a squat. And so that can be during daily life or while exercising. Things like squats and deadlifts or different yoga positions like downward dog or happy baby, things where you're really opening up the pelvis and kind of getting into a crunched over position that allows those labia to separate like we talked about, which lets air in. Yes, of course, I want you to do down dog. I want you to do squats. You have to bend over to pick things up. But if you're experiencing this vaginal gas, something that might be helpful is as you get in and out of those positions is gently tightening the pelvic floor. Give that vagina a little bit of support as you move in and out, and that will close the door off, and that should help reduce the number of times that this happens to you. This often also happens to women when they're running, and there's lots of reasons for that. But one of the big things is because the legs are moving in opposite directions, and so the labia also are moving in opposite directions, which can allow things to open up. Some really easy ways to fix it while you're running are: one, shorten your stride a little bit. See if just taking slightly smaller steps can make a difference in not opening up the pelvis so much as your legs are going in opposite directions. And then to give the pelvis more support, of course you could do a Kegel, but what might be even more beneficial is engaging the glutes. As you strike on one leg, squeeze that butt cheek in, and you might find that that can kind of close things off too. There are much more times where this happens to women, but on the whole, the big thing is, can you give some sort of support around the pelvis or keep things just a little bit closer to the body so that way you aren't opening up the door quite so literally. So what questions do you have? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for checking out my work, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.